Hello, welcome to my Star Technology base. I am having a personal challenge, really, and I just wanted to show off what I'm doing. I'm just trying to use the Great Logistics System as much as I can, and I'm just going to show off my base. This is where, of course, the original Glassbot started. I like to keep my original stuff here to show my patriotic progression. There's a lot more stuff here, of course. At first, there was like a mini workshop and everything set up around here. Few small Gregtech Machines, you can see them. A lot of the stuff that's was originally on this plot of grass is now just over here chilling. So like all that stuff there. It's at the beginning, but not too worried about it now. Currently, we completed the entirety of LV, and I'll show you a bit later. But we also have, you can see from here, a few electronic circuits, the LV tiers, because yeah, I have fully automated, fully passive the LV circuits. We had done a little bit of MV, not too much. I've basically done as much as MV as I needed to get to actually be able to automate everything. Okay, after like progressing part of MV, okay, this half of the chapter, still not there yet. We got the basics though. But yeah, I guess we'll just start off at here's the steam powered plant powered by 2 water mills. I know I could use like a laser IO or a few other mods to actually do this a bit better, but this is like here's the very start. I have not needed to upgrade it ever since then. This part's new, but yeah. Currently I've been fueling it with block of wood dust, which is the reason why this is my choice of fuel, is because get these from wood chips, which wood chips are insanely stupid. Where are they? Yeah, so for 1 log, you get 32 wood chips, sometimes, sorry, 31 wood chips, sometimes 52. Each of these wood chips smelts 1 block. So for 1 log, I can smelt 32 items. This is way better than, let's say, for example, where is it at? Charcoal, if it allows me to find it. I guess it's because it hates me. Okay, charcoal. This is way better than charcoal. Charcoal is able to smelt. Oh, I was trying to make uses, wasn't I? No, it's able to smelt 8 items. So 1 long equals 8 items versus 1 long equals 32 items. That's kind of crazy. But you can now push it even further and make it so that 9 of these items that smelt 1 item now go into an item that smelts 13 items. And so yeah, that's the reason why I'm using these block of wood dust. This is really efficient to use. I plan on moving them out later. Probably on a cobblestone farm maybe? No, whatever. It's my PC. I'm probably switching these out for like coal or some other source later. Not because these are bad, just because it's nice to have not as much of a buffer in here, and just to make it so I know I have some confidence in my system. But yeah, these are powering the what do you call these? Blaze burners. The burners, I guess. Yeah. Trying to burn is by the inventory connector. I took that one from someone in this Discord. I forgot his name, but that was a really nice trick to know. These things are kind of silly, but they can do. That just keeps them powered. This is it's the restocking system, because the restocking gauge frame is having problems. So use probably the most actual powerful block when it comes to Great Logistics doing the Redstone Requester, because it just simply requests something and then you can handle all the logistics yourself. That's what I'm doing here. When it gets below 1,000 stacks, it calls for 512, and it gets above, it stops calling for it. So yeah, here's a little power system. Currently it's using Sterling Dynamo. I've actually recently upgraded these. I put in some fuel augment to make sure it doesn't burn as much fuel, and also the LV upgrade kits. Also, I have almost passive at the moment, not fully passive. I'm currently waiting for a coil. And currently waiting for a few more of these to get automated. It's just taking a bit because I literally just started this craft like 5 minutes ago. And there's a few other steps I need to back up before then. But yeah, currently regenerating 768 since it's 6x6. I believe I did the math a bit earlier. This is like 300 amps of LV. Well, let me check. 300 amps of LV on like something like 18 machines. I plan on putting the what do you call it, art upgrades in these, so I can get, I believe that's, I saw the map on my phone just now. I can get 84 amps of MV. That should be enough for me to get started in MV comfortably. Probably not. I probably want like 128 amps, but that might require me to get a few more different things. Yeah. What's next? I guess we can go over the actual like main stuff I did first for a while. This is my crafting setup. When it comes to grate, it just takes some packages from here, puts them directly to the vault, and then we have a bunch of repackagers powered by this observer. It just pulls them into these crafters so they can get parallelized? I'm not even sure that's a word. I always use it. I think it's the actual word. Here's my fan setups. These are overly engineered because I wanted the fastest throughput possible. We might be able to see it in action. I think I just heard it? No, probably not. Whatever. The way this works is that it takes a stack of items. I guess I can just show you now. By example, put a stack of items in here, just drain out that quick, and then it gets washed, and it gets all processed right before it hits this. Then it drops them into here, and they get shot out. Now the thing about this system is this takes, I forgot exactly how fast this setup is, like this belt speed. I think it's 4 in-game ticks, 4 or 8 in-game ticks. No, 4 seems about right. It's either 4 or 2 in-game ticks. Just gonna take a stack out of this vault, and each of those stacks can just get processed in like, I believe like 4 seconds. I'm not sure how long that was. And yeah, so I'm not sure exactly how the math of that works, but yeah, four stacks come out. 4 in-game ticks, a stack comes out that gets processed in 4 seconds, and then it gets sent out. And the same thing with this one. These are all the same exact setup again. Got one for blasting, got one for smoking, got one for hunting. This is a slightly overcomplicated setup. I probably will redo this later. Well, I'm not sure when we do this whole base level, but still, basically this takes the packages in, depackages them, puts them in the vault, then spreads them out across these packages. And I think these are 7 here, so like this is 14 placed at once. Pretty fast. Here's the millstone setup I don't think I actually ever touched. This is my sieving setup, even though right now I'm pretty sure I can make the mechanical sieve. Like if I make sieve, pretty sure if I just do this, I can make like everything here. Basically everything, yeah. So like that's not too big of a deal. I could do that, and I probably should later on because I don't want to get rid of this setup. It's a little bit laggy with the way the deployers work. I'm not sure why they're that laggy, but I believe I can see them in the overlay. No, you can't because they weren't active during this time. Whatever. But yeah, most deployers usually like use like 100, 200 mils. It's not nothing too horrible, but is just there. Here's my crushing setup. This is used an awful lot. Simply take some frogs up top. Sorry, the frogs right there. Just depackages the item, splits them across these chutes. It could be done a little bit better, but honestly didn't care too much. It shoots them as fast enough as I needed to be. There's a mechanical crafting setup that I use like a total of 5 times. I don't use that thing too much. I know there's all the Gregtech stuff, but I got there pretty late. I have a floor 2 of my crate stuff. Here's the coke ovens. I used to have them down there, but I didn't want to actually. I'll get to the Greg stuff later because there's some interesting stuff you could do with those with Create. Yeah, here's a song setup. Take some packages. This side is here for some reason. Oh, because I wanted to expand this whole setup, but I never did it. Yeah. Anyways, take some packages. It doesn't depackage them actually. What it does is that it just puts them into the storage, and then I kind of split them up to the right exact filtered area. Because some of these aren't supposed to take every single thing. They're filtered for very specific items and needs. And then the solid depackages them and then proceeds to cut them. This is the mixing setup that's currently partly broken because I haven't fixed it yet. I guess I can go fix it now. Even though these things aren't active, it still looks better if I have it all fixed. But yeah, once again, this is not a one that directly depackages. It just takes the package, repackages it in case it was a multi-item craft or I guess process, and then splits them into the right location. And then this setup right here, where we have the tunnel that often lets out the package. It goes into the packager. We're in a basin. I need to heat those back up. That's fine. This observer, not the observer, smart observer. It says on my screen. Detects when when there's a craft in here, and if there's a craft in here, it locks the funnel and makes it only one craft instance at a time. And then it spits it out and sends it into here back to storage. Hello, windmills. We have the sifting setup. This was more so for early game. I'm not sure how much it's been used recently. I mean, I really don't care how much it's been used. It's all automated anyways. Same thing with the compressing setup. Probably not used so much anymore. We still have the old centrifuge. And then we have, what is this? Pressing? Yeah, so the pressing setup, same exact thing as the mixing setup. Repackage the packages, send them out to the right area, and then lock it in because there's a recipe in there. Yeah. Let's see. Put this over here. Here's the sanding one. This one's a low speed because for some reason polisher of course need to be on a low speed instead of a high speed. But there's so many of them because it runs a lot slower than the high speed side. High speed side is up here. By the way, this block is insanely loud. I don't know why it's so loud. It gets annoying. It's just very loud. This one is the coiling setup. I genuinely think this is the least random machine in the entirety of all the machines I have. I think I might have ran this one. This one doesn't even work. I think. Oh wait, no, this does work. Yeah, never mind. So yeah, this is the coiling machine. Just make some random coils. I don't think I use it too much anymore, especially because I have some Gregtech machines. And here's the hammering machine, same exact principle. Probably should fix that. I'm not going to. I don't use it that much anymore. Yeah, it takes both of these, takes them out and package them, splits them across the vault in the back, sends them to the right area to get processed, and then it gets spat out. Same exact principle as a few other machines, but those ones are special. Here's the spouting setup. I hate this one. It doesn't work. Next, here's the deploying setup. I hate this one. It does work. There's a very big difference. Mainly the reason why this one doesn't work is because the way I have to set it up so that fluids don't actually like mess up each other is kind of aggravating. As you see, there's buckets here. They're not supposed to be buckets, and there's 100 millibuckets in there for some reason in there, and it's aggravating. I need to figure out a better system for that one. Yeah, deploying setup, what it does, I have a filter right here. So our filter and tune funnels, one of them is an allow list, one of them is an deny list. For each and every item that's in the top part of the deployer, which is not a lot of items, they're both in the list, but one is in a deny, one's in a allow list, and you just send them to the right parts. So the ones that are supposed to be on top are in the allow list. They come up here, go to the deployers. Deployers get locked to make sure now the package doesn't come out. This ensures that there's only processing one set of items at a time, and it makes it so that these tunnels, which is one of the big annoyances that I had, are always in sequence with each other, because if they get out of lock with each other, they break. So it breaks this setup because sometimes they split 6 ways. Sorry, for some reason there's a little bit of a round robin feature inside of the splitting feature of the tunnels. So this is me counting for it by making sure they're always locked. I'm always going to get the same exact sequence at the same time. So let's say we're splitting 64. If 2 come to here, if 2 comes to this tunnel, 2 are coming to the tunnel below. If 2 come to this tunnel, 2 are coming to the tunnel below, and not like 2 are going to be here and 2 are going to be there, because that breaks the entire system. Yeah, deployers. This is on. That's weird. Oh, because I broke the thing. Right. I'll worry about that later. A lot of these systems, as you notice, are probably like paused. This is because I always have like a system on most of these that stops the rotation power from being active in case. Stops the rotation power from being active if there's nothing to be processed. It's a little bit iffy of some of my systems. I stopped doing that because I got lazy mainly, and just because it was iffy to set up for a lot of machines, especially for some of the Gregtech ones, so I didn't bother. And I believe it's all the main trade stuff. I guess we can go into. Oh wait, no. Right. Here is my cobblestone farm, which you might have saw a little bit earlier when I was complaining about. These create 6 rows. This generates a absolute metric ton of cobblestone very quickly. That's the reason why I have it here. It's because, like, sure, this causes more performance issues, but none of the Gregtech farms available to me right now come close to the rates that this generates cobblestone. It looks like this might come on during my. No, it's not close to coming on. Never mind. Yeah, so we're fine. That's more Gregtech stuff. I'll get to that in a bit. I don't think there's any. Why are you missing? Whatever. Yeah, it's time for the one, no FPS land, two, the main heart of my system. Let's show you the crawl space. It's a crawl space. Expect. Yep, there it goes. All right. So this is not laggy because the create storage system is laggy or all this stuff is running is causing lag. It's laggy because of this monstrosity of a wall. Yes, this is the entire. This is the basically the entirety of LV and a little bit more, some extra stuff here render. Automatically passive. I can see, I believe somewhere right there. Yep, right there. There's the circuits, and they're fully passive, fully full. Plus everything else in here, probably also including stuff I probably don't need to passive. But hey, that's how I play. I like to have everything passive because I don't have to think about it. And yeah. There's not too much to say about this. If you know how the system works, you can guess how it works. But there's a few extra special things that I had to do. Some stuff that the factory users themselves cannot do directly, so I have to handle it myself. For example, being the setup over here. This is for the void extractor and the rock filtrator. This is basically a way to keep it so that instead of requesting, let's say, geode, instead of requesting 32 gravel and I'm not going to still water for each and every single one of these, what I do is for common farms that generate a lot of items, instead of one singular item, I put them in a list like this. I make it so I have one giant AND gate. So what this is, a bunch of redstone links sending to other redstones on the other side. Sending some redstone torches to make a giant AND gate that's been scaled vertically. That's the one thing I wanted to make so I can make it a little bit more modularized. Giant AND gate, which sends to a timer, which occasionally, which either turns on and off depending on what state this AND gate's in. And this sends to a timer the exact stuff that I need to craft the entire batch. This one's on 20 seconds, even though I think this is a void extractor, right? Yeah. This one's on 20 seconds, even though the void extractor takes 32 seconds to create. I just wanted to make it so that between I'll show you later, but I have 3 void extractors because I like having more than one machine. I never build a single one machine. That's a crime in my opinion. Even in arcane engineering, the machine that's you're supposed to probably build one of, I built 2 of. And another machine you're probably supposed to build one of, I built 3 of. So I refuse to build one machine. And same thing with the rock filtrator. Oh yeah, that was the void machine. Same with rock filter, same exact thing. Bunch of AND gates since over here. We have a redstone torch, and based on the state of this AND gate, either calls it every few seconds, which is one set to 20 seconds too. Probably a mistake. I think these are supposed to be different. I don't care anymore. They both work. And then, yeah, just sends them to the right place. Next, and there's this part too, which is a smaller version of this, I guess. For singular items that have a passive farm, like the pebbles, all I do is just set it to a I set it to an AND gate, which I'll show you the next part later. But it basically says, hey, stop recalling pebbles. So all these do, there's a single source that I need to keep on reproducing. I probably don't need it for lava, to be honest, but I do. Because I don't think lava's passive yet. Lava's not passive, it's I have to request it. I'm not sure why lava's here, to be honest. I think I was going to remove it, it's never removed it. Yeah. Coming over here is my timing gates, which is probably not the best way to describe it, but basically I have a timer, is right here, that calls every 2 seconds, every 4 seconds, and every 8 seconds, and depending on which one I choose from these filters, I can choose how long it takes to release another package. A lot of these are on the 4 seconds because I'm lazy. I could probably do a different system because according to observable, the highest usage of my entire farm when it's my entire server, it's like idle-ish, when it's like essentially nothing is redstone, so I could probably condense this down to a better system. I have to do that, it's not too hard. I just need to think a slight bit about it. But yeah, and here's the little ingots I showed you earlier. So basically, all it does is just disables the timer output from here to here by just simply holding it constant. That's how redstone the pulse repeaters work. I love these things. We have these for a lot of farms. Blah blah blah. Ooh. Next, this one's actually a very important area. This is my overflow system. So what I'm doing is I'm detecting how, oh my god, what? I'm actually using copper like that. Same. Anyways, I have factory gauges over here. They are set to a certain amount. Once this factory gauge reaches 50, we will proceed to call this redstone link. Proceeded over here, which has a NOT gate on a timer, similar to that setup. And all this does is just call a few items to be sent to a voiding area, which is right there. Also, as you can see, since I got away from the factory gauges, and I'm not looking at the direction, my FPS is a lot better. So it's not this area, it's those gauges. Yeah, that's just a voiding setup. I can make this a lot smaller. It's honestly unnecessarily big. Probably unnecessarily taking two because of pipes, but it's fine. I don't care. It hasn't caused any problems observables, and yeah. Have this for any farm that has a byproduct or something. I'm just avoiding the excess. Gotta radicals in the fish, which I think is a bit silly to have to do that. This is a fish farm. To me, it's a silly concept. I'm just gonna show it right now. That's actually yeah, sure. Right in the direction. There's some giant tree. I'll show that too. But yeah, this is my fish farm. I decided to use the mechanical containers because they were a bit more performant and not performant as far as like DPS wise, but not like performant as far as rates wise. They seem to perform a lot better than Auto Fisher from Gregtech, and this works just by simply having a giant gate once again. So if all these sources are full from these based on these factory rules, it sends out a redstone signal, which turns on these packagers or turns them off. I have these ones constantly on until they get pulsed because these things are quite slow. So it doesn't really like I can't spam packages if they're this slow. That was my thought process. Here's the wood farm. It's a very basic wood farm from Create. I can't ignore those packages. I have a few accidents while I was here. So ignore this area to do factory gauges for being anyways, very basic rudimentary wood farm, right? Just standard this is a 2x2 square with inside of a 15 by 15 chunk. I repeat that I think like 4 or 8 times, I'm not sure. But this is to prevent any of the spruce tree bugs because spruce trees are the bane of this entire existence. They generate so much wood, it's so good, and it just goes back and forth. So there's nothing to it. I have a automatic avoiding fill system here. Basically, log going here, saplings going, sorry, 6 going there, saplings going there, the rest gets avoided. If there's this vault full, it just goes past everything, just sit to this trash can. So, yeah. Also have factory gauges, not factory gauges, stock link packages to pull from here because these are the sources of these. I plan on doing that as this setup basically for a few other stuff in the future if I need high rates of inputs for something. Well, sorry, if I need high amounts of something, I'm basically gonna delegate that to the threshold switch and setting up a farm exactly like this. Yeah. And these threshold switches, even though they're not attached to these attached to these vaults, are just a giant AND gate to tell me when the farm is actually full. And if any one of these doesn't get full, sorry, if any one of these gets low enough, it turns like on the once it chose it all down. I haven't seen this ran in a very long time, probably because there's I'm a certain amount of wood, so I probably won't see it for a time. I guess I can get to the main heart of the system. Back. We are back, and so to describe the system, I'm not sure why I keep on happening. I have to fix that here. Probably fix that later somehow. I just have to see how it keeps on. Are you not set to extract? No. Weird. Oh wait, you know, I think I know what's happening. He's probably... No, it just hates me. I'll worry about that later, because that's the same exact package over and over. Whatever. But yeah, the way the system works is that I'm currently using... Well, let's just start from here. Items coming from this portable storage interface. I'll explain that later in a bit. They get sent to this funnel. if they're addressed to storage, it gets stored in here. Then I use pipes to put it in packagers. The packagers either go into this vault if they're a normal package, or these tanks if they're a fluid package. And what these do, I have it attached to laser IO. It gets sent into these vaults. 4 items. Sorry. I did a bit of testing. I wanted to originally do this with just using a bunch of packagers in this wall. That was quite was causing a lot of TPS issues because I guess I had to talk between too many mods at once. The crosstalk wasn't good. There's crosstalk here, but it seems to be a way less studious to cross, especially with how many packagers I had to call upon. This is only calling upon a few vaults at the same time instead of essentially 9 packagers per vault. So I got to fix this technically a lot slower than my vault setup because the packager setup was moving 9 stacks of items at a time at the same rate this one's moving stacks at a time, so it's fine. But laser IO seems a lot more happier to moving items from a node to another node into a vault rather than a package from a node to a packager to a vault. So yeah, whatever was best for most performance here is fine for me. I also have it automatically turned off, which is huge because I think there's search for extraction, even while items feel pretty expensive. So if there's no items in this vault, which is indicated by that observer turning on and off, if there's items in the vault, it turns on the nodes for the extraction. I put turn it off for the insertion too, but the insertion seems so passive, it doesn't really matter, in my experience so far. That's why it's doing that. It's because of the I'll fix that later. Yep. Same thing over here. We have fluid packagers, which this is a mod that added. It's not in Start Technology because I refuse to work with. I think it's abysmal that the Gregtech logistics system doesn't have fluid support. So this is my mod to add fluid support. This system was a bit buggy a bit earlier. It seems a lot more consistent ever since I switched over to laser IO. But once again, it was a system that did a node to node to packager to inventory. Now we're just doing node to inventory. Seems to work a lot better. It's set to prefer nearest, so basically all of these are supposed to hold a single container fluid. Most of these are set to, they're all set to a 1044 max, but I have these threshold switches that automatically avoid it once they're above 1021. It gives me some wiggle room to move around, especially because these can only send out 10,000 bits at a time. My system has enough time to pull it out, send it to the right place if it's overflowing, void it, and still have enough time to package come in. But yeah, ideally these are supposed to have one of each fluid. This system is a little bit broke, so I broke a little bit earlier and I haven't bothered fixing it. It seems to be clearing itself out, especially there's an empty one here. Yeah, okay, that was clearing itself out. Used to be more stuff down here that wasn't supposed to be here, but it's doing a good job at clearing itself out just passively. That's great. Same system as the bolts, just with fluids. Any other logistic stuff? Yes, the contraption. So, this is a little bit kind of purse knowledge you can do with Great. Contraptions are simply the most, I think in my opinion, the most broken thing in this modern Minecraft, or one of the most broken things in modern Minecraft. You can do so many things with these shenanigans. But as for what I'm doing right now, I'm basically using it as an item pipe, an instant item pipe, in fact, just like the item pipes mod over there. But what that allows me to do is to send items up or down, pull in and out from whatever these portable storage interfaces are. Currently, it's connected by a glass pane. You can't really see it. That's the whole point. There's a glass pane that goes all the way up from this floor and goes into the second floor. And yeah, I guess I can go to the what's it called? The crawl space now. And for the crawl space, see where all the pet items go. Even it's technically one giant contraption, so it doesn't take any time for them to get stored in here. But this is just like a little buffer space that I had. I had a few problems with my other farms, or with my system was really backed up when I was crafting all these circuits. I've learned my mistake. I'm never making a batch of 64 stacks of circuits ever again. I'm probably 4 because my system, at least right now, especially when I'm using chain conveyors, it seems to be not be capable of hold that much. So yeah, I had to expand it. I should probably reduce it back down for performance reasons. Okay, here's an example of the extraction and insertion. So the packages from this from that minecart assembly all the way down there, just teleported up here. It's distracted if they're available to floor 1, which is F1 for me, and they get sent to this vault. You can put these vaults to send it on the line to go to where they need to go. And this is the direct opposite for any item that's not labeled floor 1 and that's supposed to be storage. It just goes down here, sends them to either the storage or sends them back into the contraption so they can go to the right place. It's the same exact setup on 2 right here. Now, what's another part of the logistics that we can do? Well, that's really just it. I'm mainly just using the Create Basics logistics system. A lot of these technical errors are here for once again, like my system was getting overloaded. I needed to fill extra buffers. That's how I got packages around to do it, so to solve themselves manually instead of me solving it. Yeah, that's really the main thing. I'm just using a contraption to instantly get the items up and down from each floor, instantly routing and line of chain conveyors. Technically speaking, every one of these chain conveyors and frogs are useless within Create themselves. I could technically just use this item pipe system, the contraption item pipe system, and pump it to every single one of these. There's no real problem with that. I have no problems with that, except the fact that I already did it in another pack, so I didn't want to do it again. I did it in another pack where it wasn't Create 6, and this time I actually want to use Create 6, so that's the reason why I'm doing the chain network. But yeah, I guess we can get talk with the Gregtech section. One of the first things I built with the Gregtech section was this steam power plant. I learned now from us watching Another World, it didn't really matter, like with how much boilers I have here. I probably should, instead of using a liquid boiler, even though they generate faster, I could have just used a sun one. The sun one is fine. There's no problems with it. I'm generating way more steam than I need per second with these. But also a thing that I learned is that steam, despite being a gas, is actually still just a normal fluid, so it can be stored in these tanks, which is, thank God. I thought it was like I thought gases were going to be like mechanism gases, which are the bane of my existence. I don't like mechanism, but that's besides the point. But yeah, this one make sure it stays. Thank you for breaking. This one make sure it has 80 buckets of lava in here constantly, which gets fed from the side, which takes from here. The mechanical arm takes from here, puts it into the array of steam boilers. The same thing that happens with water. Water just gets pumped in. I probably could have done it if I pump from the bottom too. I know I can, because I know I can step stuff from the bottom. I forgot the exact reason why I did it like that. Probably just because of like really unneeded need. Yeah, whenever this steam tank is full, when this tank full of steam is full, it stops the mechanical arm from actually doing stop activating the boiler, so that chills out. One of the first things I built, and that was for this section over here, just my steam section. Yeah, this is the first like automated Gregtech area that I had. Of course, I had a few like Gregtech machines before this is scattered around everywhere. I had built for them. One of them being the coke ovens. There's a steam kiln that I just manually moved steam into, and a few other things. But as far as like automated Gregtech, this was the first area that I built. And yeah, it's basically the same idea as you saw the lava. It requests steam to stay in here. Steam stays in here because mechanical arms are routed to the right machines. And here's something you can know. The packagers can actually insert into the Gregtech machines just like any other item input and output. Some of the machines actually, which you'll see a bit later, like this one, I can both input and output from the same exact face with one packager. That's something that caught me really off guard, but I really like when I can do that because it's so nice and compact. But yeah, I have to route the steam to these plants whenever they need it. They just constantly stay up with as much steam as they can hold right to the package, which the package holds like 10 steam. That's why these aren't fully topped off, it's close to being topped off. Yeah, the items get input through here, and they get output through this little frog at the top, or the output bus, sent back on the package, back to storage. That's it, and yeah. This one, I'm not sure if I use this one anymore. Yeah, it's just the alloy smelter. I don't think I use it anymore because there's actually no, that's for that. I don't recall this being used at times recently, especially because I have the electric area up. Same thing with this well, not really the same thing with the pressing hammer. I just forge hammer, just with this one is the steam hammer. I just never used it at all. This is the I forgot what you call this thing. The blast furnace, yeah. Blast furnace here for steel production takes forever, but That's the reason why I have, how many of these? 2, 4, 5 of them. Probably should add more to make it still a bit more bearable because, oh my gosh, it takes forever. And here is the ore factory that I never used. Same thing with that ore factory I never used, but we'll get to that later. I just have these here in case I ever want to use them, but I mostly never use them. Here was like early lava generation. I don't need to show you that. It's useless. Here's my favorite area as far as the Gregtech stuff goes. It's the just the wall of Gregtech machines for almost every single machine that I can use because I like paralyzing. And here once again I'm using the fact that the packager can both insert and output from the face, sorry, from the same face. Using that to insert items right in mechanical arms, and whenever they get pulsed, if there's an item in output inventory, it outputs the item and sends it back to the storage to go to it sends it back to the package to go to storage. And yeah, the way I'm routing items to the correct place is by using, you can't see them right now because there's some rendering bug, or this mod pack. I don't know, it's weird. I need to put a block actually. Okay, so this is for performance reasons. It's not too impactful, but it just helps. Try to not to use any performances where I can. But this packet, sorry, this chute has a filter and laser IO, which will later I'm going to use pipes because it's found to actually be a bit more performant. Laser IO can just push an item into here, but since this is a filtered inventory, it can only push the correct item into there at the same time. So it can only push the only items that are filtered in here are able to be there. Which these are just package filters, so I don't have any on me apparently. This is a package filters, which is that little orange text, and if it's able to, and if it has a matching address, it's pushed into there. Are these guys cool? No, it's pushed into there and gets stored. The mechanical arm puts into a vault. It will get repackaged if it needs to get repackaged. Otherwise, this is like the setup. It's gonna simply input output into the machine. It's the same extracting and pulling from the same place. So inputting and extracting from the same place. That's how the setup works. So I'm gonna replace these laser IO nodes with pipes because for some reason pipes is more performant at doing this exact setup. Laser IO is not always the case, sometimes the case. Yeah. Long line of machines, 4 of each. Sometimes I have multiple machines that have different config recipes because that's how I want them. I'm not sure if I could make it so the program circuit has, I can actually like configure it. I'm not sure if I can interact with, like, if there's something I can do to change this, but yeah, because I don't think I can make the program circuits, that's the main thing. If I can, oh, maybe I can. Huh. I have to toy around with that maybe, but yeah. Shoot. Might have opened up a new door for me. Yeah, let's have a line of machines here to get routed to the right place. And this to the right address goes back to storage, blah blah blah. All the machines I needed so far were for the LP automation. Some of them probably a little bit unnecessary. It's fine. Here is the multi-block section, which is not really too much so far. It's really just the rockford tracers, the void extractor, and the blast furnace I don't use. I only used it for a bit. I needed some graphite for the arc furnaces, so I just mainly used it for that. It's automated, technically. It's fully automated, the blast furnace. The only thing that's not automated is the maintenance, which I might need in this thing. To get to the area to see it. We're fine. I mean, I'm not sure how much I need to make this, so that's the reason why I didn't want to automate it. I'm not sure if it's like a problem. So instead of using the the ore factory to actually smelt my ores, I use the actual ores process line that this provides. There's many ways to do stuff from Gregtech. It's part of its charm for me. Okay, once again, same thing. These are IO writes it to the right package, to the right chute, which has the right package address, and then mechanical arms pull from it, set it to the right areas, and then I have another mechanical arm for this setup exactly that need to extract it, because these need to be powered. Technically, with one of the mods that I have here, I don't need a sign, but I still don't like to use that feature if I don't like it. I want to try to stay true to just the fact that I'm using just base create as much as possible. I have a few, probably should shut up sometime. Yeah, that's all this to my base. just figuring out a few problems, parallelizing with the base Senate, trying to figure out how what things can packages automatically input and output of which ones in the bus. But so far, it's been pretty fun. I'm looking forward to the challenge. Not really challenge, just how I prefer to play. I don't plan on using AE2. I only plan on using it for basically to replace Tom's simple storage. I don't like this interface that much. This thing is a little bit laggy and a few other problems with Tom's. But as far as like actually using the route items to bring using logistics, using AE2 for automation, probably not going to happen. I would use it for storage, not the drives actually. I say for storage, I don't mean the drives. I'm not going to use it for the drives. I'm going to use it for the MHS to basically replace these vaults and using just to make it so I have one single inventory that can hold a buttload of items. It's a bit more performant. Sorry, it's a bit more space efficient than vaults, but I can just use vaults. Then it's going to make it for like these buffers. But I can make these bigger without having issues with increasing space. Though I'm happy. I'll be fine with that. Yeah, for everything. Oh, I didn't show this part. Here's like my barrels and the other Gregtech stuff that I have. Again, the barrels can be input and output from, but these are just the passive farms, and they're just a couple of signals. Oh, use the pebbles, so whenever it gets turned on, it sends out the pebbles and automatically generates itself again. Down here's the lava generation, so just ask for the arch stone. Sorry, items from here just get output into here. The package is gonna send out since there's no other package here. There's no wall packages of cobblestone. Instead of there, they just smelt through the lava. They come back out. Things very loud because there's a lot of them, but yeah. Same thing here with the witch water, sea water, a few other random stuff from the wood barrels that I just have automated. But I don't think, a few of these aren't even on because I didn't need. Oh, there's a little bee farm that I made because I need some honey for wood packager because these require a honeycomb, some honey. I later figured out that I could just use this recipe much better instead of actually needing a lot of honey. It's fine. Not crying. Once again, this is extended because I had a problem with buffers. It's a latex farm. I only have the wood seeds because that's all I had at the time. It's all seemingly all I need. I don't seem to need more than that at the moment, so I'm fine with it. Here's the woodstone barrels. These are for making glass, and I forgot what else was one. Oh yeah, I think the one for dirt. I needed dirt or something. I don't recall what I needed dirt, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's needed. It's like usually a sapling. Not. There we go. Yeah. So it's making dirt. This part is distilled water. I used to have distilled water set up on the area over there, but this is what I meant by sometimes when I need something a little bit faster, I will instead just use a threshold switch, or just use the let's go. Well, in this case, I'm not even using the threshold switch. I'm just constantly generating, and it's just constantly getting buffered back into these machines. Actually, I have a tank upgrade. Actually, this already has a tank upgrade. Never mind, I don't have a tank upgrade. Yeah, I'm just basically constantly keeping this so with distilled water because I needed it so much. That was one of my main bottlenecks, and whenever it gets called upon, Frog sends it out to the network and just gets routed to the right place. Anything else? Yes, there's a coke oven area, which I can go up to real quick. Not about the teleportation run. I haven't tried it out yet. I probably would like it instead of using this elevator. But coke oven area is also simple. I'm just using the coke oven hatch, which, as you notice, there's only 2 places here. This is because I can just insert to the coke oven itself. For some reason, I didn't know you can do that. So I'm not sure why there's some Gregtech machines I can do this. Sorry, some multi-block machines I can do this, some I can't. But I'm glad the coke oven's one of them. It means I can do this weird setup where basically I just have the item being inserted into the packager, and whenever it just gets pulsed, which you might see about now. I'm horrible at that. But the item comes out, if there's any, it's put into this packager. Mechanical arm will grab it from the little square it's in, and then put it into that frog so it gets sent out to run or something. I'll send it back to storage. But yeah, I think that's everything. So currently pushing the MV. I'm waiting on increasing my power supply, my power production, because I know I'm gonna need more of that. currently have 2 of these augments in here. I was making the coil. Yep, there we go. Was waiting on those so I can actually use this output, which I automatically already did. Make sure I have enough for the next MB tier, because those will only take 1,000. I needed more than that for the next MB tier. Then when I fully upgrade these only take 1,000 to tick. So I'm gonna need the LV upgrade actually to handle the amount that I need. Yeah, when I put the arc upgrades in here, it's gonna be 1,000 tick, which will give me, I think I said earlier, about 82 amps of MV. That should be enough. I might need more, I'll see. If I need more, hopefully by then I can make the Steam setup, which is worth switching. I did a lot of testing on Steam. It's an interesting system, so I'm going to say that for here. It's never worth steering. Here's a few passive farms that I have. It's just for bamboo right now. I forgot what I needed bamboo for. Oh, yeah, I was using bamboo for dirt, and I thought, dude, it's kind of pointless. I have a massive tree farm down there. I'm going to use that. Here's the remnants of my oak tree farm. Yep. Not even attached to the network anymore. It's just there. I'm leaving it there. No reason to move it. Yeah, I think that's everything on my base. I actually didn't really show the ouch. That always happens. I know why. I don't feel like fixing it. Never really showed like how the packages go from here to here to back to the actual tunnel line. But yeah, they have an extraction network right here. They'll just route themselves. They're all constantly pulling, but these don't take a lot. Which if I show you this overlay, I probably see like 0 or 1 for a lot of these. Actually, you'll see 2s and 1s. Like 2, 1, 4s. They're not taking too much, so that's the main thing. Won't take too much, so I didn't worry about shutting them off. They just go all routed out to this one laser node. If I can get back here. One laser node puts it directly into the portable storage interface, into the network to get it sent where it needs to be. Yeah, that's pretty sure the entirety of my base has a few niche things like this setup, which takes any items from here if it needs to be avoided. So if it's labeled the 40, which is where I'm currently at, if it's labeled the 40, it gets put back on this 40 line, which I have out here, mainly for the avoidance system. Sometimes if I want to call something to here, I have this little area right here. There's the reason why there's items in here. So yeah, I just needed to input items or export items back in storage. It's not too important. But yeah. That's everything. I have like a written version of this. I'm not sure if this is an inappropriate sign, but if it is, my apologies. I just wanted to make it so that no matter what angle I come in, I can press a button. So it's my bad. Hopefully it's not, but yeah. Well, yeah. This is my base. So like I said, I'm sorry. Finally, fully finished LV my experience because I actually automated these. I don't just like reaching the goal. I like making sure I automate it. Recently, this subchapter I haven't fully completed because I haven't bothered with diesel generation. I might switch over soon. I heard that the use of the combustion engine is pretty reliable, especially because you're going to need some naphtha later. It's a byproduct, or it's just a something from the quad. I might be wrong. I'm not sure. I'm new to Gregtech. This is my first time playing it, so I'm not too sure. I might switch over to it. But I think I'm just gonna use thermals for as long as possible. So I'm switching to steam dynamos, and boilers next, and that should be enough. Yeah, thanks for watching. Oh yeah, sorry for the extra mods that I added. I added create optimizer. I'm not sure clients had added. Oh, I see. I'm not sure how much this helps. Probably not that much. Then I added logistics. This doesn't do a lot of things. They list, and I have a suggestion box for the mods I feel like adding, and it's like which stuff you should remove, which stuff you should add. And I think that's the green I'm using, and stuff that's yellow I'm probably not using, stuff that's red I'm definitely not using. Food logistics is the main mod that I needed. My god, this mod makes this pack playable. The pattern schematics, which I haven't once at all. So probably should remove. Yeah, thank you all for coming. If you have any questions, send it to the Discord, send it in this comment section because I think I want to post this on YouTube too. Well, I have to. It's too long of a video to post on Discord. Yeah.